Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all, just stop. Get real.
Welcome, everyone, to DBL. It is Thursday, and we hope you're having a good day so far. Lindsay, of course, is joining us remote. I want to say hi to everyone, and grateful that you're watching with us today because it's an interesting day today. Hi, Lindsay. It's good to see you, my love.
Hey.
Hi. Today is the anniversary of the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Supporters of former President Trump stormed the nation's Capitol 1 year ago today, and some violently clashed with police. The FBI estimates around 2,500 people took part. More than 725 people have been charged, and the FBI is still looking for more than 350 others, including over 250 who assaulted police officers. President Biden spoke this morning in a rare way, I thought, from the Capitol's Statuary Hall. Let's take a look at his words.
You can't love your country only when you win. You can't obey the law only when it's convenient. You can't be patriotic when you embrace and enable lies. Those who stormed this Capitol, and those who instigated and incited, and those who called on them to do so, held a dagger at the throat of America and American democracy.
Strong words from the president. Several Republicans have also spoken out on this anniversary. Texas Senator Ted Cruz called the riot today a, quote, violent terrorist attack. And Representative Liz Cheney, who is the co-chair of the January 6th committee, had this to say on the Today Show.
All of my colleagues, anyone who attempts to minimize what happens, anyone who denies the truth of what happened, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. And history is watching, and history will judge them. But the American people have the ability to ensure that we protect our Constitution and we protect our institutions with their votes, with their voices, and we certainly are not going to be part on our committee of allowing those institutions to be unraveled.
All right. I want to personally make this relatable to everyone here because a lot of people are writing in. I remember this. I was so livid when this happened. Lindsay, what did January 6th mean to you personally? And then I'm going to ask some more varying questions, but I just want to know personally.
I think it was just like an embarrassing time to live in our country when other countries are probably looking at us like, it looked almost third world-ish that a lie, which was disproven by so many people at that point, was the reason and the source for this crazy insurrection at the Capitol. Even with people holding American flags and seeing them do that and knowing, in my mind, this is like the most un-American thing that I've seen, one of the most in history, I was just kind of like, it felt like, I know we talked about it a lot over the year on the show about how we hit a breaking point where if you disagreed politically, you can have no conversation at all. But that felt like the point of no return. Like, in my mind, it couldn't get any worse than that.
I know what you mean. Al, what do you think about that? And also, may I add, this incredible poll, 71% of Republicans and 33% of Americans overall still believe the election was stolen. Go ahead, Al.
I mean, well, I don't need to talk after you said that. That's what people believe. And whether it's true or not, truth is in the eye of the beholder. And I think what we learned on January 6th, Lindsay, is it seemed like all the YouTube comments in all caps that you see at the bottom of videos, they showed up as real people on January 6th. Yeah. And I looked at that and I just saw people that had been in a bubble and had been indoctrinated for years. Because don't forget, y'all, we're talking about like January 6th and the election. This goes back to Obama and birtherism, because I remember there were people in the military that were saying, I don't think he's from this country. I refuse to serve under this president. So we're talking about, Lindsay, people that for 8 years felt like they were under a president that was not a real duly elected president, and now they felt like they were at that point again. We both know that both those things are untrue, but that's their mindset, and it manifested itself in a riot.
Go ahead, Linz.
And I feel like it's so important to mind what you say, because we saw a lot of elected officials, not a lot, we saw a few select elected officials say that their words didn't directly incite the riot. But, playing that game leads to this. And so we saw that, encouragement of don't just allow what is actual law or rules or what is American to happen. Don't let them vote on who's going to be the next president. Don't, all these things that were said and suggested. Everyone wanted to back away when the violence happened. And so that's why I think words matter. Even things like asking President Obama for his birth certificate, that matters, whether it's in jest or not, or even when you know it's wrong. It's more than wrong because you're causing people, in this case, to actually die.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Speaking of words matter, which I completely agree with, what worries me most about January 6th is obviously the violence, of course, but also the way that so few of us see it the same way, even though there were cameras, right? We see it very differently, and the words that we say about it matter. Some people see it as a protest. Some people see it as a riot. Some people see it, as I do, as domestic terrorism trying to overrun a fair election. Where do you think history will play and say? What words, what vocabulary will we use? And I hope correctly. Al, what do you think?
I think and I want to hear what Lindsay has to say about this. I think that the way we'll look at it as we're starting to parse this out and it's becoming more nuanced is it seems like there were factions within a larger group that probably was there just kind of going with the flow. But there were embedded in them were people with earpieces, were people that had been planning this with strategy, zip ties. They had plans to overturn this election, and they used the general public as kind of a shield for actually what was going on. Lindsay, I want to hear what you have to say about this, but I think it's actually two things we're talking about here.
I think that's a complicated question because it's frustrating if we're talking about history books like historians, or if we're talking about textbooks that our children are going to learn from, the next future leaders of the country, because we've seen history has shown us that textbooks in this country have swayed and been, like starting on slavery for African-American people in this country when there's a long history. There's a lot of things wrong with textbooks, but I think it's important, as we go state by state, you see some states like Texas don't even want to discuss racism in classes, and that's part of what this, or not this particular instance, but that's part of what this history shows in our country about when something's not allowed and you have a fringe group of people going crazy and causing violence. And so I think it's important to make sure that we, there's an argument you have to vote on a local level. You have to be involved on local levels in order to get those things changed and those principals and those leaders and those superintendents in certain positions. And so I hope that what our kids are learning is the truth, which is that this was actually a riot and people got hurt and not some protest where people were fighting for a disenfranchised group.
And people got killed. You're absolutely right. I hope if you believe in democracy in this country, you see what reality happened. Before we go to break, we want to take a moment to remember, as Lindsay said, and honor the lives lost on January 6, 2021, including, this of course is Eugene Goodman, who's the hero in my mind who saved the Senate single-handedly. But we also want to honor police officer Brian Sicknick and San Diego resident Ashley Babbitt. In total, 5 people lost their lives that day. Several more committed suicide in the days and months after.
Closed captioning provided by
All right, Tori, talking. I see people. Somebody has on here domestic terrorism and terrorist attack. It's such a strange thing that we still don't have any answers. It seems like. We don't What do we really know about that day?
What's interesting to me is the January 6th committee is really slow, but they're really deliberate, and I think you got to give them more credit. And that's Liz Cheney, who's a Republican. Dick Cheney, by the way, is on the floor of the Congress today saying he's disappointed in the head of Republicans, speaking up with his daughter, Liz Cheney. Adam Kinzinger is another Republican.
Liz Cheney's wildly unpopular with the Republicans.
However, what I think she's done well is, slowly but surely, brick by brick, created a difference in between the Republican Party, the conservative moderate party, and a Trumperism. And she's done that not brashly, not loudly. She's done that quietly by not only subpoenaing certain people, we're now reading texts from certain people. I know it's not as fast as everybody wants, but it's certainly being held accountable. She's not letting it go, and I'm very hopeful that more people join that. Now, if you're a moderate Republican or even a strong Republican and a conservative, do you feel like there's a difference in the paths between a Trumper and a Republican Party?
I'm talking about questions like why were they only at 1/5 of their staffing for.
That's what she's looking into.
I mean, but it's been a year. Like, shouldn't
people are ignoring
and then the guy
subpoena.
that was in charge of that, like, he quit the next day.
Yeah,
like January 7th, he quit. Or
not
like,
only that, but they're subpoenaing people like the chief of staff to find out. And not only that, they're ignoring the subpoena. So now you have to hold them in contempt of Congress. So all of this takes so much time. Now it's time to jail people that refuse to answer questions. What about the pipe bombs on January 5th? Who planted those? We don't know that yet.
And
That's
it started
weird.
at 9 a.m. Like,
What
why
is
did this
that?
go on? I remember watching this, like, where are the.
Yeah. Welcome back to DBL. This is one of those DBL conversations where it gets real, and I love working on the show. More and more of our fellow TV hosts are testing positive for COVID. This morning, the Today Show also reported that host Hoda Kotb tested positive despite being fully vaxxed and boosted. Meantime, over on The View, Whoopi Goldberg gave a health update because she's also dealing with a breakthrough case of COVID. Take a look.
It was a shock because, I'm triple vaxxed. I haven't been anywhere. I haven't done anything. It's one of those things where you think I've done everything I was supposed to do. Yeah, it doesn't stop Omicron.
So, Linz, I want to go to you and ask you personally, and I know you'll be honest with you. Did you feel any shame or any embarrassment about it, even though you shouldn't? But I feel like if I caught it, I would, but maybe that's my personality. Talk to me about your first thoughts.
Yeah, I think you go through the emotions. What Whoopi talked about is just, I did everything to be precautious. Like,
Right.
I asked anyone that came here to make sure, and I know the flu is not COVID, but to have their flu shot, to be vaccinated, people were taking tests. And so, I tried to be precautious. I wore a mask if I went out to get Christmas gifts, everything. So it's frustrating when I'm here. And then you almost don't even want to get tested. So if your nose is running, I was like,
Right.
no, I have allergies. I didn't even want to believe it. And then you get to the point where you get the positive. And I remember sitting in the doctor's office and I was just like, even though I had no symptoms really, I just was let down and sad that 2 years later, now I have to go call my coworkers and colleagues and explain that I have COVID. And it felt like there would be judgment about being irresponsible when I knew that I wasn't. And I know a lot of people are feeling this way, that it's there's nothing you can really do.
Right.
Sometimes people could be asymptomatic. They don't know that they're sick and they're right next to you. So you can try to play the blame game and go back to see who could be the culprit that passed it to you. But as long as you're surrounding yourself, I think, around responsible people that care about other people, no one's intentionally trying to give people coronavirus. So, it's just this thing where I'm grateful that people are vaccinated and it's not affecting us in the way that it was 2 years ago or even a year ago.
Right. I know it's you feel a lot of emotions, but at least you're not in a hospital feeling all of those emotions. And that's thanks to what we've had. Al, I want to get your take on this. We've shown you all sorts of videos of fights and brawls on planes, all because of the mask mandates. But today we've got another spin on this now classic tale. So check this out. Canadian officials are launching an investigation after footage of a group of influencers partying it up from a flight from Montreal to Cancun recently. People are passing around a bottle of vodka. Most everyone's maskless. There's even footage of someone just whipping out a vape on the plane. Which of course is against the law.
Wow. You sound like a hall monitor right now.
Go back to your class. To your class.
It's against the law.
Okay, but that was a crazy video. Lindsay's laughing.
They're passing around bottles of
How could you? But
Grey Goose vodka, and Tori's I don't think you can do that. Yeah, look, I think.
But that was crazy. And that was Sunwing, I believe, in Canada. I mean, that was that was crazy.
Look, I think that, first of all, those are influencers, so I think that was part of their job almost to show that. And I think the reason they showed that, honestly, is because what they do is they're embodying how their followers feel. And the idea of we've been locked down for almost 2.5 years now, and just to let it all out, I thought
you would have a very different take on this, Al.
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying I would hate to be on that plane. But I get where that's coming from. We covered this a year ago when people were just kind of having house parties, even though it was on lockdown. There's only so much lockdown you can do to people, and especially people that are young. Think about 22-year-old Al. I don't know if I'm following protocol. I think I might be where's that party? So, I mean,
Lindsay,
44-year-old Al
That's
is.
fair. I mean, maybe we need to let loose. Does that make sense to you, real quick?
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying
You're
that's
saying
what
you
it's-
understand it.
I think this is ridiculous. Like, come on, man. Come on. Get your life together. I know, Al, we're just saying, and we're on different sides. I'm the grandma today. That's ridiculous. People need to get it together.
I don't think it's just today, Lindsay.
I know, but my favorite line of Lynn's is, come on, man, come on. All right, coming up on DBL, there is a series now, and it's shedding light on the dark underworld that controls our world economy. This is an insane show. We'll tell you about it. It's called Trafficked, and it's coming up next.
TikTok video with more than 3 million views claims you can get a check for up to 4 times the amount of your flight if you're denied boarding by the airline.
We'll try to get you on the next flight in a few hours, but there's nothing else I can do, sorry. Actually, I've read the terms. This is called involuntary denied boarding, and in this case, I'm eligible for compensation.
Some people wonder if it's too good to be true. So, let's verify. Can you receive compensation from an airline if you are involuntarily denied boarding? Our sources are the Department of Transportation and the contracts of carriage for the nation's largest airlines. The TikTok explains airlines sell more tickets than there are seats on a plane and hope passengers don't show up. While that does happen, airlines can also involuntarily deny boarding to passengers if an air marshal requires a seat or if there's a problem with the plane and they swap it out with a smaller aircraft. Regardless of the reason, the DOT says this is all completely legal so long as the airlines follow the law of what to do if they run out of seats, which is what the TikTok focuses on. Airlines' websites say they will first ask for volunteers to give up their seats in exchange for a voucher or other compensation. If there are no takers, then the airline can involuntarily deny boarding to passengers and must pay you a penalty of up to 4 times the fare paid, depending on how long it takes them to find you a new flight. So, it's true. You can receive compensation from an airline if you are involuntarily denied boarding. However, this is extremely rare. DOT data shows of the nearly 445 million passengers that took to the skies on major U.S. airlines between January and September of last year, there were only about 6,500 people who were involuntarily denied boarding. Remember, this does not apply to things like weather delays, cancellations, or missing your flight. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. How much of our lives does a global criminal underworld control? That's exactly what National Geographic's show Trafficked aims to find out. And earlier, we talked with host Mariana Van Zeller about it. Take a look at this. Mariana Van Zeller, thank you for joining us. Now, what was it about the criminal underworld that made you want to do a second season of Trafficked?
It's an understanding that these black and gray markets actually make up for almost half of our global economy, and yet we know so little about them. They have a direct impact on our daily lives, whether we know it or not. And again, we know close to nothing about them. So I think I've always been curious about these worlds and really gaining access into the deepest and darkest corners of our world is the whole premise of this show.
I'm so into this.
I am too. And here's, I'm going to speak for the audience here. You get up close and personal with the criminals in real life situations. How do you convince them to get on camera?
Yeah.
It seems like that would be counterintuitive to what they're trying to do.
It takes months, sometimes even years, to convince people to talk to us. I say that for every yes that we get, for every person that agrees, we get dozens, sometimes even hundreds of people that say no first. So it's not easy, but I think at the end of the day, the reasons, it's a mix of ego, also impunity. A lot of these people operate in worlds where they really don't see a downside to talking to us.
Right.
And then I think it's a very human characteristic, just wanting to be understood and wanting to share their stories. I think one of the things that we make very clear from the beginning is that I'm not there to judge. I'm
Right.
there with empathy. I'm there to listen and to understand them. And I think that goes a long way.
Do you work with the cartel?
I'm actually not there.
Now, this is the coolest part. I mean, not the coolest, but I think you sometimes wear a hidden camera in your investigations. Do you go into those situations with an escape plan? Like, do you have a code word? Bananas, someone come in and get me.
Why would that be the code word?
Because
that would be the most obvious code word you could yell.
Bananas.
I'm not going to tell you what the code word is, but we have
It's
one.
not bananas.
You know, yeah, I mean, we do film. We do film some stuff with secret cameras, for sure, and it's only sort of last resort when we really do not get access to to certain areas that we think are important to see. But more often than not, we actually, spend again months and months trying to convince people to let us into their worlds.
That makes sense.
And that is often actually, sometimes the most dangerous situations we have been in situations where we have gotten full permission, but something just doesn't work or is not going right. We were in Mexico in Sinaloa doing one of the episodes for this season about, actually for season 1, it was about gun trafficking, and the military, the Mexican Marines showed up, and that was a very scary moment where there could have been a shootout at any moment, and that happens. Unexpected moments happen more often than not.
So do you have that gene in you where you like to bungee jump? Do you have that adrenaline thing? Because you constantly are putting yourself, no, you don't have that.
People think I'm an adrenaline junkie,
right.
and I'm not at all. I don't do it for adrenaline. In fact, it doesn't give me much. It's not, I don't get an adrenaline out of it. What I am guided by is enormous curiosity about the world. I think that in a fight between curiosity and fear, in my mind, curiosity always wins. And if there's a world out there that is secretive, that no one has seen before, or that you're not supposed to go into, that's the place where I want to go, just because I'm incredibly curious about it.
Wow.
And it turns out that what I'm incredibly curious about, these hidden worlds are actually have an impact on our lives. So they're also very important to shine a light on.
Mariana, thank you so much for chatting with us. Don't forget to watch the second season of Trafficked, out now on National Geographic, one of my absolute favorite channels. Thank you so much for taking your time and the great work that you do. We'll
Keep
be right
it up.
back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Stay curious, my love.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Kids.
More than 600 people arrested for storming the U.S. Capitol January 6th. And whether they were Oath Keepers or Proud Boys, a rapper from Richmond or a Marine from Quantico, virtually all of them share one criminal charge in common: entering or remaining in a restricted building or grounds. Reaction swift on some social media accounts, with tweets like this one claiming the Capitol building is public property, therefore people have the right to be inside. So let's verify, does the public have the right to be in the U.S. Capitol or government-owned public property whenever they want? Our sources on this: Jane Campbell, president of the United States Historical Society, the National Park Service, and the General Services Administration, or GSA, which owns or leases more than 1,800 federally controlled buildings in Virginia, Maryland, and the District of Columbia. Let's start with the Capitol building itself.
There was a time when anybody could come walk into the building.
But Campbell says that time was more than 70 years ago. She says laws have been on the books since 1946, controlling public access to the Capitol, with Congress tightening restrictions in the 1970s after a radical left-wing militant group set off a bomb in the Capitol, and again in the late 90s when an armed assailant stormed past a U.S. Capitol security checkpoint and killed 2 Capitol police officers. The only public access to the Capitol these days is through the Visitor Center, and even that has been shut off due to COVID. What's more, U.S. Capitol Police told us when it comes to the Capitol riots, none of that matters anyway, telling us in a statement, quote, "When it comes to the violations on January 6th, it is not relevant whether or not the U.S. Capitol is a public building. It was not open to the general public that day, first because of the COVID-19 pandemic, second because of the joint session of Congress. The rioters violated the law the moment they crossed the police line."
Just as our freedom of speech doesn't allow us to, in a crowded theater, scream fire, we also can't come into the Capitol, storm the Capitol, disrupt the work of Congress, vandalize our most sacred space.
Which made us wonder, what about other public spaces owned by the government? The GSA told us in general, federal buildings are open to visitors from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. with a valid ID and a security screening. But that's not a blanket rule. You can't just walk around FBI headquarters on Pennsylvania Avenue. It's totally locked down except for a small self-guided tour that's open to the public, but even that has to be set up by your congressman. You can't go into the Washington Monument whenever you want, although you can visit the other monuments 24/7, but people who do are subject to this long list of rules and regulations while they're there. So we can verify, no, the public does not have the right to be in the Capitol, on the Capitol grounds, or on federally owned public property whenever they want. With your Verify, I'm Eric Flack.
Welcome back. Do you need a vacation from your vacation? Luckily, Steph showed me some awesome products that can help bring in the new year. Check it out. All right, what do you have for us today, Stephanie? I can't wait.
Hey, Tori. First up, we've got the Home Lab 11.6 quart XXL 8-in-1 air fryer oven.
Wow.
This will come fully equipped for you with a rotating basket, dehydrating racks, adjustable skewer racks, an oil tray, a rotisserie fetch tool, and a rotisserie chef.
Oh my Lord.
It's everything you could need.
Does it come with a chef? I mean, that's incredible.
Pretty much. It's amazing, right?
Right.
So normally this is as much as $175, but for us, it's only $89, which saves our viewers 49%. Now, Tori, this deal, it's a fan favorite.
Ooh.
We've got Life Pro Grace Shiatsu neck massager, and it heats up. It's got heat. Normally, it's $115. We've got it for only $35, saving up to 70%. Now, I know you're going to love this one. It is the Premier Luxury Skincare Quartz Gem Brightening Under Eye Treatment.
Oh, yes.
Now, normally, this is as much as $250, but we've got it for only $39, which saves all of you at home 84%. And last but certainly not least, we've got Posh Home Double Ruffle Hem Sheet Set. They're wrinkle resistant, they're breathable. I mean, it's everything you could want.
I need new sheets.
Oh, they're lovely. They feel heavenly to touch. And normally this set is as much as $60, but guess what, Tori?
What?
We've got them at $29, saving up to 52%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. Steph, as always, thank you so much. We want to say bye to Lindsay and hope she's well. I also just wanted to shout out Just Me saying, looking for solutions to our political divisions, begin by putting civic courses back into our schools, beginning in the early grades. I don't hate that idea. Lindsay, it is lovely to see you. And
absolutely.
Lindsay also texted me and said she liked my shimmy.
And how you feeling really quickly, girl?
I'm feeling good, guys. I appreciate you guys have all been calling me and texting me, so I appreciate
we see
it.
that
I'm just
smile, so it
chugging
makes
away,
sense.
sitting in my office, you know?
Yeah.
Your office is so cool. All right, bye, Lindsay. We love you.
Love you,
DBL
girl.
is new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Thanks for watching, y'all. Be safe.